What's up guys, Kevin here, today doing a review of Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is a game that I was really excited for, and I had a lot of hype for this, and it's finally released, and I gotta say, like, this game is so good. And before I kind of discuss more about this, uh, I have not been on here for a while, and I am really sorry about that, but I'm probably gonna get back more on a schedule for this, and hopefully it does not take me like another 9 months for a video. But yeah, so it's finally here and I just adore this game. There's so much I want to talk about because it's so much fun and there's a lot of like energy to this. Yeah, a little bit of a joke there, but yeah, it's so good. They've updated like the combat, the gameplay, and all of that, and there's also like and they also expanded on the story of the first game that takes place about a year later. I'm not going to go into spoilers here for this game, so you do not have to worry about that. But yeah, this game is just so great. It's one of the best spin-off games I've ever played, and there are some issues with it, which I will get into, but yeah, this game is just so good, and it's just so much fun, and I really just had a blast with this. And the first thing I want to talk about is the gameplay. The gameplay here is very similar to the first Spider-Man game, only now it's very different because Miles, he always like fumbles around and he's not as good at swinging as Peter would be because Peter has a lot more experience with it. So here it's a lot different, but they do some really cool things with that, and there's a lot more like gameplay mechanics to it when you're swinging around the city, and I really enjoyed that. And then you have like the combat, which has been updated a lot, which is just so much fun to use. All like the abilities and the Venom dashes and stuff like that. Those are just so much fun. And yeah, it's just such a great combat system, and I love how they expanded on it here. And I love like Miles's gameplay, kind of like compared to Peter's. Although I think Miles's is better than Peter's in my opinion. I might have to play it again, but yeah, it's just so great and just yeah, it's so much fun to kind of just swing around as Miles, and there's a lot they've done to the city, where they've added like new locations to it, and yeah, and they've added this new aesthetic, which is very wintry. So I think that that is really cool that they did there, and yeah, it's just really good. Another thing I want to discuss here is the story. To me, the story was really good, although it did have some issues here and there, but overall I did really love like the self-contained feel that it had. It's this like nice little shorter type story, but it is really interesting as well. It does have a lot of bigger moments to it, but it never goes like too big. And I'm not going to spoil anything. You don't have to worry about that. I just really enjoyed the story here. It's not the most memorable out there. It does have, like I said, some issues which I will get into later, but it is a very good game, and I think that the story was very good too. Like it's not perfect or anything like that, and I'm not really I wasn't really expecting it to be it because it isn't meant to be this like bigger type game like the first one was, or if anything in the future happens, like yeah, this is kind of like its own smaller type game, and I love that. And there are some big things that do happen here, but I'm not gonna get into that until maybe a future time where I'll do a spoiler review or something like that. But I'm not doing that right now because it's only been out for like a few days, so yeah, it is very good though. I think that a lot of people who love the character of Miles are going to be very happy with this. I don't know too much about the character. I have seen like Into the Spider-Verse and I love that movie, and here I think that they did an excellent job with the character. But yeah, he's not my favorite. I still prefer like Peter Parker, but he is still a phenomenal character. And I think after playing this, he is like one of my favorites, and I just really enjoyed like the story that he has here. And yeah, it is very interesting like what they do with him, especially like towards the end. Once again, no spoilers, but yeah, it is so good to see like how they could have taken this route where like, oh, where if you take like, I don't know, some like one of those games that would be like based after a movie or whatever, or like based after the movies, like superhero games that are like that. They tend to be pretty bad or whatever. But because like the old like those TASM games or whatever, they did not do a good job of being like incorporated from like the movies to the games, which I love the movies for those. But yeah, the games from what I've heard are not very good. So here though, like I feel like this was so great though because Insomniac, they know how to do their characters. They know how to write good stories, and what they managed to do here is they did that like really, really well. And yeah, I do have some minor problems that I think it does have some flaws, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not like objectively it is bad. No, of course not. They're not objectively bad things in the story or whatever. It's completely subjective, whatever you enjoy. And yeah, I just feel like here though, to me, I think they did a great job. Yeah, so the characters there's one in particular who you did see in the trailers. I won't spoil much about him, but yeah, he's just like this evil businessman dude, and he's there. And I feel like Troy Baker, he did do a good job at performing the character, but the character itself is very bland and just very one note. He's just there and he's evil and he wants money. That's like his motivation is money. And I feel like there has to be like some joke there or something like that that they did, because I it's just so weird when you have all these like complex villains or whatever in this game, but then you have him who's, yeah, not really. So it is just, I don't know. I did not like that character at all, and once again I won't spoil anything about it. But yeah, he's just that's like my one of my biggest issues with the game is that. And the story itself, like as much as I do enjoy that like kind of self-contained feel, like it didn't really impact me as much as the first game did. The story didn't resonate with me there really, but it is still very good. I do like how it's like this very family focused type game, and yeah, they did a really great job there. And yeah, but no, and then the other thing, another issue that I do have is the bugs and glitches. I did run into those. I feel like they are definitely patched out soon, but I did run into a bunch of them, which were a bit annoying, but it wasn't like the end of the world. Like some of them were really funny. There was one where like my character would just load in, you could see just like you could just see Miles's head in a phone. It was really funny. And then there were some other annoying ones where I did have to like restart like a cutscene or whatever because it would glitch out, or like the game would just like completely stop and I'd have to like close out and go back in. But still though, like it's not a huge issue. I don't think anybody's gonna have a massive problems with it. Uh, but yeah, no, it is a great story, and yeah, it has some issues. So I don't really care. I enjoyed the game. It was just a ton of fun, and yeah, there's just so much here that I really would love to discuss that is more story related, but I really can't. So yeah, there's that. But still, this is a phenomenal game, and I would highly recommend it. It is $50, or if you're in the U.S., so it is. It's like $10 off of what like a full price game would be, and it's so worth your money. Like this game is so worth it. Like even though there are some bugs and glitches where like this game just absolutely is great. And then there's another thing that we discussed, which I almost forgot about. There is a side quest which I really loved. I don't know if this is kind of a spoiler, but it's not really at all. But there's a character. There's this like little thing with the character who is deaf, and so Miles knows sign language, and is this awesome like awesome little side quest, and I really love that. And it's just like these great little things with like characters that you meet around. And yeah, I just feel like they did such a good job there with like the side quests. I have not finished all of them, but yeah, they did a really great job there. And yeah, this is just such a good game. I loved it. And yeah, I really just cannot wait to see what Insomniac does next. Whether it's like a new Spider-Man game or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, this is just such a good game. And I'm really excited to see where the future of it is. Like, this is really, really awesome. And yeah, I really think that a lot of Spider-Man fans and a lot of people who just love the characters in general are going to be very pleased with this. I had a blast playing it, and I'm sure everyone else will. But yeah, no, this is just so much fun, and it's this great little side story type game to the first, and while it isn't as good, it still manages to be this very great story, and they did such a good job here, and yeah, no, I love this game, and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It is so good. I would highly recommend playing this, and yeah, it's just a phenomenal game. Also, if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter. It is Captain Gaming, and yeah, so just definitely play this game. It is so great, and I will see you guys later. Bye.